address, many women, especially here dito sa ating bansa, have started to break out of old patriarchal roles, of course. Meaning, women can work now, di ba? Working moms,
Grabe, dati,
working
walang
women,
ganon.
maraming bawal. Ngayon, pwede na po lahat. So things have really been changing. We are actually helping as well pagdating sa income for our families. Di ba?
Yes.
Nakakatulong tayo. But more than that, we are leading as well already in whatever scene. In business, sa
Yes.
politics, di ba? Lahat na lang. Present na ang kababaihan.
And women are definitely breaking the glass ceiling, but it doesn't end there. Many women are asking important questions. What impact am I making on the world? How do I know if the impact I am making is truly meaningful and relevant?
Yan ang magandang katanungan. How can I also help other people and
Yes.
inspire them as well? So we will help women answer those questions and more. Our first forum that will showcase the multifaceted woman and show how she can make a meaningful and relevant effect on society through ideas and endeavors.
And beyond the glass ceiling, this is our forum on Women of Impact.
Please welcome our distinguished guests. Former Secretary of the Development of Foreign Affairs and Senior Advisor at SGV and Company, Ambassador Delia Domingo Albert. The chairwoman of the BRG Group from Vietnam, Madame Nguyen Thi Nga. The president and CEO of the Magsaysay Group of Companies, Miss Doris Magsaysay Ho. The founder of BB Productions from Bangladesh, Miss BB Russell. And co-founder of Grab from Malaysia, Miss Tan Hui Ling, who will be joining us through live video conference, and representing her in the live panel is Grab Malaysia Head of New Markets, Miss Cindy To. To facilitate the discussion is our moderator, corporate and events lifestyle host, Miss Isa Litton.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Go Women 2020. How's everybody doing? Oh no, we need to wake you up. Once again, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready to listen? Better said. Welcome to the first forum today to my truly esteemed panel of very, very accomplished ladies, our women of impact. But before we begin with this, I'd also like to introduce some of my interveners who will also, at any time that we are actually chatting here on stage, may give insights, inputs, and questions. Ladies and gentlemen, they are with you in the audience. Miss Olivia Limpe Ao, President at Destileria Limpoaco and Company, Incorporated. We also have Miss Cheryl Quintana, President of Orispa Solutions, and Miss Edily Omoyon, owner of Milea Bee Farm. Good morning, ladies. Again, at any time today or this hour, within this hour, feel free to chime in. But for now, good morning indeed. Shall we begin with our Women of Impact panel by first getting to know our panelists? Of course, when you create an impact in your different communities and societies, if I'm not mistaken, that's actually the last thing on your mind. It begins with your own purpose, your own mission, and you simply getting the job done. So I'd like to first begin with Ambassador Delia, who has a wonderful career in diplomacy, being not just an ambassador, but actually being one of the first women to secure the slot of Secretary of Foreign Affairs. The first. She is the first not just in the Philippines, but in Asia. So, Ambassador, diplomacy and business, how did this come about for you?
Well, as a first speaker, let me first share with you a news report that should make the women feel comfortable. Do you know that women are less susceptible to coronavirus?
Woohoo! Better immune systems?
Because of our biology, and the second is that women wash their hands more often than the men.
Oh,
Read the New York Times, it's here today. Anyway, thank you for your introduction, Isa. Actually, when Joey asked me if I would accept to be an awardee, I said, "Why me?" And he said, "Well, you've been doing work for ASEAN." I suppose because of age, I was there when ASEAN was born in 1967, and ever since I have been supporting our participation in the region. We forget that the Philippines is part of a bigger region, and this has brought so much prosperity to all of us. We take it for granted, but I think that through these activities, Joey Concepcion and Go Negosyo and the ASEAN Business Advisory Council has brought the Philippines closer to its commitment in ASEAN as a country that is part of a 650 million community. And having been the first woman foreign minister in the region, I think made an impact that the Filipino woman can lead in a male-dominated profession as diplomacy.
let's give that a round of applause, everyone.
Now, what is necessary to be so? I think the most important thing to remember to be in that position is to be credible. Credibility is the most important, not just in diplomacy, but in business as well. You have to have credibility, you must have the integrity, so that you will be able to sell whatever product you're selling. For a diplomat, the product is the country and the people of the country. So you must know your country very well in the same way that a business person has known the business very well. And you must know your market. And we should know the rest, especially of ASEAN, which is the fastest growing region in the world today.
How did you get to know the Philippines then? Because knowledge is power in your field. Getting to know, of course, not just the richness of the Philippines, but what we have to offer, especially when it comes to Filipino people. So how did you fall in love and gather knowledge about our beloved country?
Well, first of all, good education is crucial. I hope that every Filipino will be able to read more about our history, our geography, who we are as a people, our culture, our society in general. And I think that's how it gets started, to know your people well. And I think that one of the awards yesterday about our women weavers, I think this is a great way to get to know your country. We are all weavers. We are all part of those threads that put together a country. So getting to know the people very well,
Start with your community.
starting with the community, appreciating, and as I said yesterday, you know, in Indonesia, every Friday, you're supposed to wear batik.
Oh.
That way, they're able to know who they are. I think it's about time we do something that
Here.
we wear something Filipino at least once a week.
That's a good thought, right? Don't you think so?
Definitely. Isa, if I may add,
Yes,
if
hi,
I
Olivia.
ask a question, Isa, for Ambassador Delia Albert, you're a diplomat and a very successful one at that, and you have been promoting the Philippines. Aside from integrity and credibility, you really are someone with a lot of confidence. And I think that's something that our entrepreneurs, whether budding entrepreneurs or established entrepreneurs, could use, because confidence helps us when we make our presentations, when we sell our products. So could you give our female entrepreneurs here some tips on how to develop confidence?
You know, you gave a very good letter C word, confidence. Another C will answer, and you must have content. Content, so that you must know your product well, you must know the market well, because if you don't, you will be edgy when you are promoting your product.
Don't make it up.
You have to know, you have to learn, you have to study. Life is a continuing learning process. And if you know the content, especially you know your product well, you know the market well, then you gain confidence. But aside from that, there's another C, which is communication. You must be able to communicate what you are promoting, whether it's a country, whether it's a product, and you're doing that very well. Olivia has a fantastic relationship with our embassies abroad, and our embassies abroad promote her product because we believe in it, we have confidence in it, we know the contents, not just physically, but what goes behind it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador. That is
Thank you very much.
confidence, content, and communication. Thank you very much. That was a good question, Olivia. Shall we move on first to Madame Nguyenti Nga? Good morning. And of course, Madame Nguyenti Nga actually here is all about building this multi-ecosystem in Vietnam that includes banking, real estate, golf, hospitality, retail, export, production, entertainment, jewelry, printing, agriculture, garment, automobile parts. I was not kidding that it was a multi-ecosystem. Plenty companies and all thriving. But this is the most important question. Where did you start and how?
Xin chào tất cả quý vị. My English not so good. I need translator.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Nabuhay.
Buhay.
I'm from Vietnam. Yeah, my name Nguyễn Thị Nga. I am 66 years old. Yeah.
Success has no number. She's still going on strong, huh? She's
Yeah.
still very busy.
Yeah. Thưa các quý vị, hôm nay đến đây cho tôi một cái cảm xúc hết sức là bất ngờ.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to this conference, this summit today, gave me the feeling, the special feeling and surprise.
Một cái sức mạnh của đất nước Philippines và đặc biệt là sức mạnh của tất cả những người phụ nữ của chúng ta có mặt ngày hôm nay. Xin chào các quý vị một lần nữa.
Once again, I would like to deliver my welcome, my gesture to all of the women presented here, and the power of Philippines give me a strong impression.
Tôi bắt đầu kinh doanh từ năm 1994.
I started my business since 1994.
Đúng hơn là năm 93 bắt đầu
Wait. Did you say 1994?
1994.
And she managed to get all that I just said since 1994
Yes.
only?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly, it's from
I
1993.
have 26 years working. Yeah.
So where did
Only,
it start?
only 26 years.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what did she start with? The bank?
Bà đã bắt đầu với cái ngành nghề nào ạ?
Tôi bắt đầu từ ngành nghề xuất nhập khẩu, hàng may mặc.
I've started from textile import and export industry.
So textile,
Yeah.
import,
Yes.
export.
Và thành lập ngân hàng cổ phần tư nhân đầu tiên ở Việt Nam.
And establish commercial bank, the first commercial bank in Vietnam.
Okay. So from textiles to banking.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Và tôi kinh doanh real estate business. Real estate
I
business.
also do real
Together,
estate
yeah.
business at the same time.
Because you already have money in the bank, literally, you decided to put up real estate.
Không phải đâu ạ. Bất động sản. Không phải là tiền từ nhà banh được ạ.
It's
Và
not money
vì tôi
from
chỉ
the
là một
bank.
cổ phần, một cổ đông ở trong ý tôi.
We are, I am just a shareholder in the bank.
So you found partners to
Yeah,
work with.
yes,
Partners to work with.
Yeah.
That's good. You cannot go far alone. You went with partners together.
Yes. Tôi kinh doanh xuất nhập khẩu cũng như là làm nhà banh hoặc là real estate thì trong tất cả lĩnh vực nào thì tôi cũng đều rất là chăm chỉ. Và hiện nay thì tôi có 22.000 người lao động trong tập đoàn của chúng tôi với 15.000 ngành kinh doanh cốt lõi.
So even I did import, export industry or banking or real estate. One thing I always put in mind is hard working. I am very hardworking, and currently I have 22,000 employees in 15 core industry sectors.
Và tôi luôn luôn đi vào những cái lĩnh vực mới, đặc biệt là lĩnh vực sở hữu, sân golf. Và tôi luôn luôn nghĩ rằng những gì đàn ông làm được thì phụ nữ làm được và chúng ta phải làm được.
I always try to enter into new industries, especially, for example, in golf. In Vietnam, I am the first one who entered into golf in Vietnam. And I always think that anything men can do, women also can do.
Nicely said. Here's another question then. Because you do have a multi-ecosystem of industries and companies, do you not lose focus? How to keep focus?
Tôi có 15 ngành nghề trọng yếu nhưng mà có lẽ mọi người sẽ không nghĩ rằng một ngày nào tôi cũng làm việc 14 đến 16 tiếng và ngành nghề nào tôi cũng rất chi tiết và rất là sát sao.
Even I'm running, my ecosystem is in 15 core industries, but maybe you will not know that every day I work 14 to 16 hours per day, and I always go into details in every industry, every business that I am working on.
Cũng muốn khoe với các quý vị, muốn nói với các quý vị là hiện nay chúng tôi có 7 sân golf và 31 khách sạn quốc tế và Việt Nam. Trong đó có những khách sạn mà như là Marriott, Sheraton, Intercontinental và Hilton. Nhưng mà tất cả kể cả những khách sạn quốc tế tôi vẫn rất chăm chỉ và sát sao để đi cùng.
I just want to share to you that currently my group own 18-hole golf courses, 31 international and domestic hotels, including Marriott, Sheraton, Intercontinental, and Hilton, and even in any international hotels business, I also follow and I also watch very closely to the business performance.
I think one of our interveners would like to
Yes.
ask something. Yes, go ahead.
Yes,
Miss Eddie Lee.
I'm in awe at the things that you do
I
at
think
the
we all
vastness.
are. Yeah, we all are.
Anyway, you said earlier that you partnered with other people when you set up new businesses. And most of us here are small and medium enterprise businesswomen. So I would like to ask, if you're still in the beginning stage or starting up stage, how do you choose partners so that, because our fear always is the incoming partner might eat us alive, might, you know, overpower us or do something that will bump us off the business. How do you choose partners so that you both grow into the business?
So how to choose partner, good partner, who respects you.
Trước hết là tôi thường chọn các partner là tôi nhìn vào người lãnh đạo của đơn vị ý có siêng năng chăm chỉ và không nhiều cái ham muốn thì tôi sẽ chọn cái người đấy, chọn cái doanh nghiệp đó.
First of all, if I would like to choose a partner, then I will look into the leader of that corporation company, and I will see whether the leader is working hard, is he focusing on the business.
Và thực sự là tôi cũng chọn những cái ngành nghề phù hợp với cái tập đoàn của mình và có thể có những cái mục tiêu phấn đấu mà nó cũng đơn giản giản dị thôi.
And also, when I choose to work in any business, I will assess and to see whether it's suitable for my group, for my corporation, and I will see whether the goal is practical.
Have you ever had no choice? Were you ever put in a situation you had no choice and your partner said, no, my way?
Tôi thường với các đối tác của mình thì bao giờ cũng sẽ có một cái sự lựa chọn, đó là cũng là 100% agree. Chứ chưa bao giờ tôi phải dùng đến những quyền phủ quyết hoặc là để mọi người phải làm theo tôi hoặc tôi phải làm theo người khác, mà bao giờ cũng đi đến một cái thống nhất chung.
To my partner, I actually have never have to face no choice. We always try to be very flexible, and then I have never have to face the situation that I have to follow my partner 100% or my partner has to follow me 100%. We actually discuss and then we come to consensus.
Compromise and collaboration. Thank you very, very much, Madam Nguyen Tinga. Thank you very much to our translator as well.
Yes,
Lots of golden nuggets.
Lisa,
Yes,
can I
yes,
have
sorry,
just
Olivia.
One last question for
Okay,
Madam. Okay.
one more question.
You have 15 businesses across several industries. Did you have to like really get to know each and every industry? I mean, because she said you put attention to detail, so it means that you know the business. Or are there other businesses that you have to rely on your partner's expertise?
Có nghĩa là có 15 cái lĩnh vực như vậy thì làm sao mà bà hiểu được hết tất cả các lĩnh vực, thì có cái lĩnh vực nào mà bà phải phụ thuộc vào, tức là phải dựa vào cái đối tác của mình hay không?
Trong 15 cái lĩnh vực ngành nghề của chúng tôi thì tôi thường có một hệ thống báo cáo riêng của tôi. Và ngày nào tôi đi làm về cũng vẫn nấu ăn cho chồng tôi ăn. Và sau đó thì xem thời sự của Việt Nam, và sau thời sự thì tôi sẽ ngồi vào máy và tôi sẽ kiểm tra tất cả các cái báo cáo. Và thưa thật các quý vị, cũng rất may là tôi không bao giờ phải phụ thuộc vào bất kỳ một đối tác hay là kể cả các assistant của mình, mà tôi đều có thể tự kiểm tra được. Tất nhiên là tôi cần có một hệ thống báo cáo đặc biệt của riêng tôi mà điều này tôi đã làm ra 20 năm nay rồi.
In 15 core industry that our group is performing in, actually, in order to manage those one, I have a very special report system daily. And actually, every day when I come back home, I still can cook for my husband meal. And then I watch Vietnamese daily news. Then I will come to check the report. And of course, I never have to rely on partner and even any assistant. But I have to build up my special report in my own way for such a long time.
Nhưng mà tôi rất là lắng nghe tất cả những ý kiến của mọi người và đọc rất kỹ các báo cáo.
But I always listening to their idea and comments from every persons in my group, and also I read carefully the reports.
Reporting systems. Cheers.
Feedback and reporting. Yes.
I like that actually it just means you also trust your people. You not only look for good partners where you can have a collaboration and compromise with, but you also really trust and rely on your people. Thank you very, very much, Madam. And thank you again, Olivia and Edelie. I like how our conversation's going. Now we've focused the spotlight on Doris Magsaysay Ho. And Doris here, I believe, inherited a family business that once centered around shipping, but with her term, grew it into a logistics, human resource, marine travel, and tourism kind of focused company on its own. In fact, under you, Doris, you were able to make the Philippines a resource, a very rich resource for maritime labor. So upon inheriting and learning how your shipping company worked, how did you manage to transcend that and take it to this direction?
Thank you, Isa. First of all, I just wanted to congratulate Joey for bringing together all these amazing women. Don't you think it's unbelievable?
Oh yeah, wonderful stories too.
No, I'm so excited that there is an effort for all of us to realize, as Delia Albert mentioned, that we are part of an ASEAN community, and here is the sisterhood that's developing. And the women of ASEAN share, inspire, and of course now I'm following a superwoman. But to answer your question, Isa, thank you for asking me that. I would like to just honor my late father. My father is Chinese from Shanghai, and unlike most Chinese fathers, he treated all of us the same, both girls and boys. And so we watched him, we participated in all his work as an international shipping company. We lived in many countries, including Tokyo, and I saw the excitement about shipping, especially trading around the world. So I eventually ended up here somehow. It's a long story, but I ended up in Manila. And by some chance, the government was privatizing a lot of crony. For all of you young people, I think you don't remember the past, but there was a time that all shipping companies were owned by cronies of the government, of the president.
Whoever the president favored.
Yes, they were friends.
At the time.
So they privatized all of this, and I bid on all of them, but the one we won was a domestic shipping company. And so I knew shipping. I didn't study business, but somehow I learned it by osmosis. And I started developing this business in the Philippines. But I found out that my competitors, all men, my competitors had different talent. One is they all played golf. I'm sorry. So she said that she does what men do, but I really didn't want to spend time away from my kids to play golf. And I also saw that they were inviting a lot of the customers to trips to Hong Kong and things like that. So I called my father and I said, you know, I don't think I can do this job. Honestly, I don't think I can do what they do. And if I'm not able to do that, maybe I won't have the success we need. And he said something to me that made an impact for me forever. I'd like to share this story. He said, Doris, do not try to be what you're not. That is not what I trained you to do in your life. Be what you are, and just don't try to change your values. And so I decided to proceed as a woman, and I realized that even customers would like to give both types of suppliers business.
Yes.
So I saw that as a woman, I'm really, really excited that women, I realized early on that being a woman gives you actually a lot of ability. To be able,
Multitasking.
well, it's really an ability to sort of find solutions to
As a
ways.
problem solver.
Madame Nguyen was saying, you know, you find your way through, which maybe sometimes men who are unfortunately, sorry guys, unfortunately more trained to be a certain way. Women have more flexibility in being able to address solutions. So I felt really excited about being here. I thought the Philippines provided one very important aspect, which is it's a country that really gives you the ability to live with purpose, that you, whatever you do has an impact beyond just money. And I felt that that was a very important guiding force for me, which brought us to really develop, aside from our shipping and logistics business, to develop this human resource business.
Which is Filipinos.
Filipinos.
To develop
and
our co-Pinoys.
Filipinos, and actually today we have 60,000 Filipino seafarers working on board really amazing ships of all different global clients. We offer human resource. We are talent solutions partners. And we do a lot of training, education, and really give the opportunity for our people to find fulfilling careers as well.
So when you told your dad, I might not be able to give you the success in this shipping business, and he told you, you do your thing. You be true to yourself and be true to your values. Because again, Doris was operating under, I just want to stay home with my kids, while the men go and play golf everywhere else in the world. So you decided, I'm going to stay put here in the Philippines, and what do I see around me? Talented, hardworking Filipinos who also want to provide for their families. Am I right?
Well, I don't know. I want to correct a little bit the impression about staying home with the kids. I really must say that my children, I am truly, truly grateful to my kids for understanding that I had my own purpose in life. And they really appreciate it and they respect me for that. I guess what I was giving as an example is that there were things, certain business practices at that time that were hard for me to know how to do because my father my father always acted with great principle. And so I wasn't going to go and bring customers to Hong Kong for a junket. I
Yeah.
couldn't do that. And so he said, don't worry, because your strength is just to be, you know, a person of integrity and just try to win your customers because of service, not because of other benefits that you give.
And it is that very service that you're able to translate it for other Filipinos to also offer good service.
Absolutely. And I think what the Philippines has is amazing people, amazing people. And I try to explain to our people that work abroad, that come, actually for shipping, they go abroad, they come home every 8 to 10 months, spend vacation, go back, come home, go back, come home. But I try to, I think, instill a little bit the idea that each of us here must have a big vision. Have a vision for yourself beyond what it is that you think. And that's why I think it's so important that we meet these ladies from ASEAN. The vision should become global.
Bigger.
And I tell our seafarers, come home, be a ship owner, or whatever you learn. If you're a baker, have a restaurant that makes really good baguettes. So we need to, aside from all the hard work that has been mentioned, it's really having passion, it's really having a vision, and it's really being yourself.
Wonderfully put. To our interveners, yes, Olivia.
Well, I know Doris well. She may seem to be demure, but she's a tough businesswoman. And navigating in a man's world is not easy. Both and I know that because I'm also in the distillery business. And we share a common bond, bond. My mother is also Shanghainese. But anyway, Doris, can you share, maybe give some tips also to our entrepreneurs here, like on how to negotiate or navigate in a man's world. You know, maybe not all their businesses are geared towards women. Some will be in tougher industries. You're an expert, so maybe you can give some tips.
How to deal with men?
Yes.
Well, actually, when it comes to
To wallop them.
when it comes to
not
actually
really,
having
just how to-
negotiating
yeah.
skills, I think both men and women have the same
set.
same problem, the same challenge, and must have a same skill set. I just think that, well, I agree with Delia Albert that you must know your content well. You must know the position from which you stand. What is your bottom line? Don't be afraid to know what your bottom line is. And but I think women have a sense of charm. It's just an added plus alpha
Lambing.
and lambing.
Plus, I think women, as you said, you were explaining earlier, are web thinkers. Like a man would think in a straight line, but a woman will consider many, many factors before arriving at the decision.
Right. I learned once from a professor that there are two ways of thinking. One is linear and one is lateral. And I must say, I think women tend to think laterally. So the answer may not be above it, below it. It might come from here, from here, from here, from here. So in a way, that's one way to have enough content with the charm, bringing in ideas which look for win-win solutions. I think women have a greater way of being able to, without fear, drive for win-win solutions.
To look for a solution.
Yeah,
And
to
I
look
like
for
that.
a win-win
Win-win.
solution.
Not just my way. Wonderfully put. Yes.
I have a question for Ms. Doris. You inherited, more or less, inherited the business from the family. What's your pointers for new entrepreneurs who have young children
Oh, to
and
pass
are
it on.
hoping, yes, that they will be able to pass on their business, their legacy to their children?
Yeah, for you to pass on
Yeah.
to the next one.
I think what inspired me as a child to enter into this business was watching my own father's passion. And he really used to sit with us during meals and tell us about the business. He would even, I remember once he asked me, were you listening to me? And I said, yes, Daddy. And he said, well, what did I say? And I
because
said,
it's a
God, I
man's
forgot.
business, that's
But the
why.
point is really inspiring them by loving it and by sharing with them. A lot of times, you know, we come home so tired that you don't want to talk. But I think it takes a lot of discipline to be able to sort of build the team of the kids around what it is you're doing, so they really understand why you're working so hard.
Lead by example. And I think that really just shows, I think, right? So if you're coming home from work or you're starting something, especially to the we have young entrepreneurs here. I don't know if there's a smattering of parents already out in the audience, but your kids see what you don't think they see. And that is whether or not you're happy or you're fulfilled with what you're doing.
Right.
That really does translate.
And I just wanted to add one thing. You guys are so lucky because there's the internet and you can actually do e-commerce from home. So you're really lucky, something that none of us had in our lives.
Nicely put. Again, a round of applause. Doris, thank you very, very much. We head over to our friend from Bangladesh now. Hi, Bibi Russell, who let's give her a round of applause. Warm Manila welcome. She was a model who was already living in Paris. Am I right? France?
I was living in Europe.
Europe, around Europe. But you wanted to go home. And something drew you home, which also I think is a wonderful model for everybody, really, especially around the ASEAN region, because you wanted to highlight or put the cultural weaving advantages, a beautiful weaving production of your country out into the world. Tell us about the story.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
morning.
Yes, I did modeling, but modeling was never my dream. I went to Europe to study fashion.
And it's happened to be when my graduation show was there. That's very important, all the college graduation show. And my teacher said you could model. I was lucky enough, my first job was 14 pages of Harper's Bazaar
Wow.
with Barbara Daly and Eric Bowman. But then again, when I went to study fashion, people told my parents, you send your daughter to be a tailor in Europe, then I was doing modeling. So I told my teacher, please, I don't want to do it. But you know, my college, I went to a very good college, London College of Fashion. I was the first Bengali student. And college, my teachers used to love me. They said, look, college teach you the basic grammar. And I know if you shut your mouth, don't say I'm a fashion student, modeling can take you all over the world. And I did in London, then I did in Paris, Milano, New York, and all these places. But I want to tell you that modeling made me mature, made me travel all over the world, made me understand the other culture, heritage, and the best thing of modeling, what I got is the world media, which made me BB, they are giving me a standing ovation today for my work, which I'm doing in Bangladesh. And what I'm doing now, that was my dream since my childhood. You know, I grew up in Bangladesh. That time it was Pakistan. You all know we had a war, 71. Next year it will be 50 years of Bangladesh celebration. This year, our father of the nation, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, has 100 years celebration. But I saw many things, you know.
What was your dream? Yeah.
My dream, I tell you, I saw people used to, in the villages, wear beautiful things, you know, sarong, scarves.
The weaving.
So, weaving and the colors, the music. You think about all the world's greatest Asian musician in India, like Ravi Shankar, Ustad Alauddin Khan, all the names, they are all from Bengal. Bengal is full of art and culture and music and literature. Tagore is from Bengal. So we were full of that. And when I went to Europe, I couldn't understand. People say Bangladesh is a poor. It's okay, it's a poor. But maybe we have cyclone, we have disaster, but there is a sparkle of beauty, which I have seen since my childhood.
And that was your
So
culture.
my dream, the culture and weaving and thing, could you imagine, we made that time, 18th century piece of fabric called muslin, which is in every museum in the world, done by the Bengali weavers. So how come they are below poverty? So I want to tell all the young generation, I had a dream since my childhood, but my dream grew with me. I didn't forget my dream. Dream is not only you see it in the night, you could dream in the day. And when I was mentally and physically ready, when I was in Europe, I didn't need to come back. I could have gone into, I was made by the European. I had every door is open for film, television, you know, my label. But I came back to Bangladesh for fulfill my dream. And people who made me have my dream since my childhood, the village people of Bengal, I came back for them. And I cannot tell you, feeling inside to have your dream come true, there's nothing in the world can take me away. And I want to congratulate Madam. I also came back in 94, but I'm working with thousands of people. I'm making the craftspeople, weavers, and everything do with hand. They do it to have a better life, sustainable development. I'm not even first step in the ladder, but congratulations to you. You are doing very well. But one thing I have, I am loved by the 50% of 170 million people. I never have to take a sleeping tablet to go to sleep. And the trust with them. Not only in Bangladesh, every country I work in India, Sri Lanka, Latin America. You know, I have like their hand and my hand. That's why I'm telling, I was listening yesterday who had problem of weaving, but please, first, try to be close to the weavers. Try to have their trust and your trust. Once they trust you, you respect human dignity, there is nothing you can go back.
I love that. Again, it's going back to basics. Let's give that story a round of applause because we can all relate to a dream of going big. Especially Filipinos, we look for opportunities elsewhere to find success. And most of the time, we don't look back. We do become happy to just be out there. So I hope that that inspires most Filipinos to just work with what we have here.
Absolutely. There is nothing more than, I don't care, people say you are Goodwill Ambassador. I won the highest award from Spain, France, but I would die if I don't get love and affection from my own people.
Sense of
I
nationalism.
tried first years, go around the villages, make myself understand them, understand the dialogue, being very close to them. Today, I'm not even first step in the ladder, but I tell you, whole world want me. How did I make the weaving industry, handmade thing come out in Bangladesh? That's become a role model.
You went back to your actual community and
Absolutely.
got to know them. So here's the content that's going back to Ambassador Delia. It's knowing your content, knowing your people, knowing what you have to begin with. Olivia, Edily, anything you'd like to comment on this one?
One more thing I want to say, one more thing. You have to focus. And I have many difficulties. I know if I do a mobile business or become a corporate, I will make my money very quickly. But I've been focused. I know what are the strengths of my country. You cannot beat the weaving thing. If you go in history, I was focused. I concentrate with that.
Strength of your country.
Yeah,
I hope
so-
we keep that in mind. Thank you.
Madam Bibi, would you say that the first step in helping your weavers was when you put up your first ready-to-wear collection? So were you the first
designer.
buyer of these
Weaves.
textiles woven by your weavers, and that you made it into a collection?
Okay. First of all, I like to use the word assistance, not help, because I have learned many things from them. It's not helping them. I'm making them coming out with their own talent. Second, to your question, when I went back to Bangladesh, whole world knew I'm back in Bangladesh. Also that time, the Director General of UNESCO, Mr. Federico Mayor, Queen of Spain, they knew. I was a very good student in college. My final year in London College of Fashion, graduation collection was kept in British Archive. So why I wait all this year to come back to do that? And when I was in Bangladesh, 94, 96, UNESCO contacted me. They don't promote fashion, but what the UN agencies want, long run, health and education. What I want, health and education. Giving them work so they can come out of poverty with dignity. So UNESCO arranged in Paris headquarters, they invited everyone, show, and that's how it started.
It wasn't a collection. It was actually
It was
collaboration.
a collection. It was a collection.
To educate and give
No,
them
no, no.
working
It was a
opportunities.
collection. My first collection was sold in Galerie Lafayette Designers Corner. You say 35,000 and this, it was, what is it called? First collection, I gave more than 30,000 people work because it was a big order of 3 Suisses. So it was UNESCO. I'm very grateful to UNESCO. There are 2 Spanish people who believed on me from the day one. One is Mr. Mayor, second is Queen of Spain.
I think what's nice and inspiring about this is when you do meet amazing people, and once you've established a wonderful network of connections, bring them back to the communities that need it. I think that's a good lesson here.
And I hope that, Madam Bibi, you can also help the Philippines in our efforts to grow our industry.
Of
Yes.
course, you have such a wonderful things. I've been looking at it. I've already said I'm ready to come. It's not that I'm giving. I want to learn so many things, you know. Learning is not an age. You have a country full of richness. You just have to project it possibly. Make sure the young generation believe. Look, I'm wearing everything handmade. This sari I made 20 years ago. But I knew I'm coming with all these important guests and everyone. You know, it's how you carry your personality. You have such a beautiful thing. I have already said, Josephine, I'm ready to come from April. It will be a pleasure, and it is part of my dream too. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you very much, Miss Bibi.
Yeah, Miss Bibi. I'm impressed of the number of weavers that you've impacted. More than 30,000 of them. When you were starting your advocacy to promote the weaving industry, the handmade weaving industry of your country, how did you move quickly? What do you tell our budding entrepreneurs who wanted to do the same, to have impact on a community that they want to support? How do you speed up the spread, the ripple effect of your...
Okay. I wanted to tell you, I was brought up in UK, London, but my parents always lived in Bangladesh. So you know, I have learned, first learning is from your home. I have learned a lot. I used to come and see my parents, used to leave my luggage and go around Bangladesh. So before I decided to come, I knew very well each corner of Bangladesh, our art, our culture, our music, it's full. Then, like in Philippines, you have certain things in the mountains, certain things in this. I knew which area is cotton, which area is silk, which area is this. So I have already worked. I never worked in an area where they are famous to do cotton. I don't do silk there. I don't want to waste their time. So I did my background work very, very well. That's why I want to tell all the young generation, know your country first.
Know what you got.
That's so important for you.
So it's really enriching what's
Yes,
already there.
absolutely. Absolutely.
And that again brings back to I love how everything goes back to our first speaker's point. Back to content, back to communication, back to you doing your research, knowing what to say. Thank you very, very much again, Miss
My
Bibi.
pleasure. my
Last question.
Okay.
Madam Bibi, your 30,000 weavers, do you have a lot of young weavers there? Or, because like in the Philippines, they're mostly old, right? And we want to encourage young
young.
people to go into weaving because they're the future.
First, I want to tell you, I come from a country where there is 170 million. There is our Excellency Ambassador is there. He will correct me if I'm wrong. And I work with, in the village, they are either farmer or they do things with the hand. Even if I say 35,000, it's not even one person. Please, I want you all to pray. Before I die, I want to go to the second step on the ladder. Okay? And of course, I work with, I think, young generation are the future, whether it's Bangladesh or India or Philippines or anywhere. I involve a lot of young generation to carry it, but I make sure this young generation, they have basic education. That's very, very important.
So here's to education. And actually, the women in front of you, they're still not stopping from learning. They are continually learning in whatever it is they're doing. Am I right, ladies? Thank you very, very much. A round of applause for Ma'am DB, please. And last but not least, actually who we have in front of us is a lady representing another lady who is actually in Malaysia. Yes, so she's here with us via the screen. Phone patch, please. Good morning to Tan Hui Ling, co-founder of Grab in Malaysia. Good morning.
Hi. How's everybody? Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Hi, Tan Hui Ling. So, again, in another industry practically dominated by males, but for you, you started first as a corporate strategy and operations consultant for global companies. Am I right?
Actually, I started as a mechanical engineer even before that.
So there, she's a graduate of mechanical engineering, and you found yourself consulting global companies when it comes to strategy and operations.
Indeed.
How did you end up there?
So I think life is a very interesting journey, and I like some of the earlier comments that said that you shouldn't think linearly and that you should think naturally, and females and women generally are lucky enough to have that skill.
That's Doris's.
Also, there's a parallel analogy to life as well. My life has taken me in many different directions. It definitely hasn't been a single path. So when I started my undergrad, I loved maths, I loved physics, I loved taking things apart, trying to figure out how they worked. Sometimes I never could put them back to my parents and disappoint them. But at that time, trying to see how to make things more pleasant was what led me to mechanical engineering.
Oh, wonderful.
Sorry, there is a bit of a lag, so do pause me anytime.
No. So again, taking things apart, putting things back together, and then again, coming from a mechanical engineering background, that's actually not something too common for most women. Am I right?
Indeed, I think back then, when I was studying, there was probably only 10% of females in my class, maybe less than that.
And now I know the numbers in STEM courses are growing.
Yes, and I'm lucky to say and see that trajectory is changing.
Being, of course, the CEO of Malaysia and starting all this on your own, how was the journey like? There you go, hi. What was the journey like to start your own from advising global companies to actually putting one up on your own?
Interestingly enough, it was not planned, and the idea that we had, my co-founder Anthony and I had nothing to do at all with my mechanical engineering degree, but it actually had to do with my upbringing as a Malaysian. So the story I like to tell is back then, probably 10, 20 years ago. When you were to Google world's worst taxis, country and a city that you'd see as top, response on first or second pages would have been Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Really? Not Manila?
Manila, I think, was probably number 2, maybe page 3. But that's funny, right? Because that was the environment that we had grown up with, and it's what we got used to. It was a safe practice that would allow us to travel, and when I was working as well, it became a real problem because I needed to get to and from work when I was a consultant at late times of the night, and it just wasn't a good, safe feeling to have to take taxis. So lo and behold, again, never intended to solve that problem, but after meeting my dear co-founder in business school, we both realized we both had passion for solving this problem, and we both said, hey, with the latest technology developments of smartphone, mobile technology,
Apps.
we actually probably can do this at scale. So that's how it started.
Okay, so again, that's actually one of the things that's advocated by our very own Go Negosyo, that part of putting up your own business is always addressing a problem, a painful spot. So providing a solution to what you already see is wrong or missing. And that's what you did.
Indeed, and it was a problem for two sides of the customer marketplace platform. So it was a problem for passengers like myself, single female travelers, or other travelers as well. And it was also a problem for the drivers that we're trying to serve because it was a very inefficient system, and therefore they weren't earning as much money as they could. And that's why we thought technology could help drive efficiencies and just make life better. Win-win solution for everyone.
Do my interveners want to ask anything? Eddie Lee?
Yeah. Hello. About the technology, we all know that if a small entrepreneur is to move forward, technology, the use of technology is inevitable. During your college years and while you were working, you found that you have this problem with transport and you found technology to be the answer. What will you recommend young people right now who are also having ideas of how to solve problems, but they don't know how to execute it using technology? How will they fulfill their dream of solving problems when they're not into that technology or app expertise?
Eddie, that's executing ideas using technology. How do you bridge this gap? Huilin.
Yeah, it's a very interesting question. I think most importantly is to start with the problem. What is the customer problem that you're trying to solve? And really figure out if technology is required to solve that problem. Because there are many problems in life today that don't require technology. Now,
Good point.
Sorry.
Good point.
And then from there, let's say if you know, okay, there is a certain type of customer problem that you want to solve, and the only way to scale it and make it efficient is by technology. My next recommendation would be to find partners, or in my example, co-founders who would know more about it. Or if, within the team you want to go learn more, you can always find advisors as well. So I will step back a bit because we're talking a lot about how and what we want to do to achieve a certain outcome. But if there's one thing I would like to share with amazing attendees today is that it's not so much always just about what you do, but how you do it. And the things that have enabled Anthony, my co-founder, and I to continue to grow Grab to hopefully where it is today and hopefully continue to grow for the next 15 years as well is the fact that we care a lot about empowering our consumers. When we started with a problem that nobody else wanted to solve, which was safety for taxis, nobody really wanted to become friends with taxi drivers back then, and we spent all our times with them. It was really fun, actually. I learned a lot from them. It's also about being servant leaders for Grab employees, we call them Grabbers, and also about knowing that as leaders in any industry that you're in, whether it's in fashion, whether it's in politics, whether it's in golf, whether it's in shipping, right? The journey of leadership is never ending, right? It's always about continuing to grow, learning to listen to feedback all the time, irrespective of how successful you really are, and knowing that you can always work in progress that enable you to continue wanting to grow and do more. That's how we started from transportation, and that has now led us to serving 9 million plus transport entrepreneurs. We don't have as many employees as some of the amazing superwomen on the stage, but we are now present in 339 cities, 8 countries, and more importantly, the number that I really, really love the most is when our team went back to look at the economic impact that we had in the region to Southeast Asia. For 12 months running up to March 2019, we contributed back $5.8 million to the economy.
Woohoo!
Not the original intent, but thankfully very well done.
Thank you very, very much. Actually, now to bring it back and to wrap up this panel of Women of Impact. Again, to all of our panelists, thank you for your time. But I think this would be a great question to wrap things up. You are looking at women who are making an impact globally. And I know that seems daunting, especially knowing that the audience gathered here today in the World Trade Center are all micro MSMEs. We're all just starting out. You're probably thinking, I'm just starting. I have such a small business. How can I be that? So getting back to basics, as what Ambassador Delia said, knowing your content, what advice or tips, what last message can we leave our budding entrepreneurs in the audience today to keep going or to simply start so that they, in their own ways, can make an impact? Ambassador?
Well, you're making me sum up.
Yes, ma'am.
I can't imagine a future without science and technology. And I think I cannot leave the stage without telling you what we are doing in ASEAN today. We have a target date of ASEAN 2025 when we think that through technology and through people-to-people contacts like this, networking, especially among the women, these are all the elements that ASEAN is putting together to fulfill Vision 2025. And I think that the efforts of ABAC in the Philippines through Joey Concepcion, and as I said again, he deserves everybody's round of applause. I cannot imagine in the past 53 years of ASEAN anyone who has brought so many people together, eager to listen, eager to share an experience, and challenged by the daunting challenges of the future. I think that the more we get to know ourselves and get to know our region through meetings like this, forums like this, will spell a good future, not just for the Philippines, but for the rest of the 10 member countries of ASEAN. And I think you should start by getting to know what these 10 members of ASEAN are. And they're very well represented this morning when you met all the women of impact from the region who shared with you who they are, who they were, and who they could be. And they could be your models and have an impact on the region, not just in the community, regionally, but globally. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador Delia. Before I go to Madam, how about we go back first to Ms. Wheeling, just on a final note. So thank you. Your advice again, how can they make an impact in their own ways if you are a micro, small, medium entrepreneur?
Constantly is top of mind for you. That's when you know you found a problem that you really, really want to put the rest of your life into.
Sorry, that was find something you truly care about?
Indeed. Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can.
Okay. So find something you're truly passionate about that you really can't spend any waking moment of your day not thinking about. And sometimes you dream about it in your sleep as well. And secondly, I would also find partners, people, co-founders, teams members that really care about it as much as you do, and that can add to the greater whole in ways that you yourself can't. So know what your limits are, perfectly fine, and find ways to actually balance that out and build yourself on friends, family as well, right? Last but not least, I think there's a very big, I guess maybe misperception out there or stigma where folks feel it is actually bad to make mistakes. I actually disagree extremely strongly. Making mistakes is the only way you learn and grow.
Part of the process.
The only reason why I guess I'm able to be here today is because I probably made more mistakes than most people. Maybe not yet so the women on the stage as well, but I've made a lot of mistakes and more importantly, I've learned from them. So making mistakes is perfect. Cherish them, embrace them, and as part of that journey to your greater end goal of what problem are you trying to solve, hopefully that will lead you to a lot of fulfillment and excitement in life.
Thank you. A round of applause for Wheeling Tan. Thank you for being with us, for patching on to join us for this morning's forum. Thank you, Tan Wheeling. Thank you very much again. Now, speaking of finding a partner and, of course, finding people who know more than you, finding a good collaboration, I give you back to Madame Nguyen Tinga, who, again, growing something to 15 companies. What is your message to our micro, small, medium entrepreneurs in the audience?
Doanh nghiệp nào dù nhỏ hay là lớn thì đều có một mục tiêu. Vậy tôi chỉ muốn là nói với các bạn rằng nếu như chúng ta đã có mục tiêu thì hãy biến cái mục tiêu trở thành khát vọng. Và chúng ta sẽ làm phải bằng được cái khát vọng đó bằng cả trái tim và khối óc của mình. Và đừng bao giờ bỏ cuộc, chúng ta sẽ làm được.
So even the company, the enterprise is small, medium, or large. It doesn't matter of their scale. The important is the purpose that we aim for. And once we already set our goal, our purpose, then we strive in order to turn the purpose into our aspiration, our goal to implement and to turn it into the reality. And I believe that I can do it and you can do it.
Wonderfully said. Find your purpose, everybody. Go back to basics. Again, find a solution you'd like to provide. Think of a problem that you can't sleep on because you know you want to solve it. Finding good partners, finding your purpose. Doris.
So to add to that, there's so much noise out there. So what's important that I've learned even from the panel today is to just listen. Listen to the people like Bibi does. Listen to what they know. And then listen to what the market needs. And sometimes the word market is so big. Listen to what you need. Listen to what our country that has, typhoons and it has poverty. What are the things that are really needed? Leave your brain, go into your heart. Because in your heart is where the passion lies, is where love lies. And guess what? It's also where courage lies. And in that courage, in that space of courage, you will find that life of purpose. And we can all then live a life of service.
Wonderfully put. Thank you. Doris Magsaysay, ladies and gentlemen. And to round it all up, Bibi.
I would say we are living in 21st century. Please respect the human dignity and don't stop dreaming. Start to dream and go for your dream. Thank you.
Thank you. And with that, our Women of Impact Forum comes to a close. How about giving our panelists a big, big round of applause, as well as our interveners. Thank you very much to Ms. Olivia Limpe Au and Ms. Edelie Omoyon. Thank you very much for your inputs today. May we invite Presidential Advisor Joey Concepcion to please join our panelists for a photo opportunity, as well as our co-founder, please, Ms. Edgardo. This is only the beginning, ladies and gentlemen. More forums, more fireside chats are to follow. So we hope that you will keep listening to this truly wonderful, wonderful gathering of women who are very generous to share with you what they know, what it is they do, so that you as well can make an impact, not just in our communities, but one day in the world. My name's Isa Leton. Mabuhay po tayong lahat. Go Negosyo, Go Women 2020!